What up, though, y'all? How y'all living? So today was a good day. Well, not everywhere. But this didn't happen today, but all of the drama about it and the real story is coming out today. So let's go ahead and tune in and see exactly what took place over here at the Marathon Burger, man.
I don't know where Stevie came from, but they rolled out the blind man for some PR, man. But
Flacco hating.
Stevie Wonder in the building.
Right.
Okay, they got Stevie in the joint. Stevie, like one of the coolest old dudes in the world.
I don't know where Stevie came from, but they rolled out the blind man for some PR, man. But ultimately, it didn't work because the story gained national legs.
Shots are being fired right now.
Now, who wouldn't have took cover? Come on now. Who wouldn't have took cover?
Shots are being fired. What night that, bro?
This is a terrible look. The grand opening of your
Now, clearly that didn't happen at the clearly this didn't exactly happen at the Marathon Burger, but let's see.
restaurant, and your burger joint ends up in a TMZ article in bold letters. Shots rang out at Marathon Burger. Now, you West Coast niggas got no shame. Y'all got absolutely no shame whatsoever.
I agree with that part. We are getting to a point where it's evident that gang culture is killing everything righteous about Black people in Los Angeles. That's a fact. This may have been true, but it's becoming evidentially true. It's becoming publicly true. It's every time you turn on the news or the internet and you see Los Angeles, you see gang culture ruining Black people culture or ruin the accomplishments of Black people.
Because a lot of y'all don't even have pride in who you guys are. So y'all don't care about disgracing your last name. So a lot of y'all see this and feel nothing. But Black Sam is somebody who cares about his last name. It's a powerful last name. So the fact that he's ducking behind cars as a multi-millionaire CEO because he chooses to conduct himself and to be around the people, he chooses to humble himself and still come around y'all. Y'all.
Now make it clear, Black Sam is not a gang member, which is really the more prominent story from this, because he was able to come up from the neighborhood, be able to make money in his neighborhood without joining a gang, and then able to venture off into other neighborhoods and survive even though he wasn't part of a gang. So to me, without Nipsey, Black Sam is still a success story to me, but that's just to me.
Should be embarrassed, man. Embarrassed. Now, the one positive comment out of this situation right here is radicalizing the people against LA culture. You take the social media and you see people for the first time on a national stage is having a serious conversation about LA culture. I disagree with the second part that you don't go after or fight the person who's fighting you for resources. You go after the person who made resources limited that you have to fight over it. That's what you go after. You don't go after another oppressed person. You go after the oppressor. But this person is a...
That's a fact. LA culture is ruining Black culture like we just established. That's for sure. That's a big fact. Yeah.
100% right. LA gang culture is a problem. Some will go as far to say LA culture is a problem. But I'm sure you could probably...
I agree. I agree with that.
Find 1% of things good about LA culture. So maybe for the sake of that 1%, I don't know, they dance well, right? You know, they work out well. I guess that's also part of the culture. They work out well. But even they're working out, they work out so they could also victimize and inflict violence on other Black people. So even a working out comes with evil. But nonetheless, though, you know, working out, I guess, is a positive thing. But outside of working out and maybe dancing, everything else is degenerate. Everything else is toxic. Everything else is bad. Everything else is Sambo-ish. So I agree 100%. This is the first time ever the conversation about LA gang culture is now on a national stage. And people are starting to wake up. They're being radicalized. They're seeing it how I see it. I ain't never had no love for these people. Listen, I knew from my first week in LA, these people couldn't be saved. That all this conversation about...
Yeah, but you make a lot of money off of these people, Flacco. That's for sure. Look, your glasses used to be crooked, now they straight. You make a lot of money off these people.
Psychoanalyzing and psychologizing these people to be upstanding citizen is a waste of time. There ain't no saving these people, man. The only saving for these people, I'll be real, is penitentiary. I mean, that's about it, bro. Right? Lock them up and get them away from us as fast as possible. Now, the aftermath, though, of the incident has been one to behold.
Let's get to it.
There's so much layers to this. First off, we found out the Hoovers were also involved in the fight. Or specifically, the Prime Minister, the King of LA, Chucky Finster, was a part of this situation. Oh, they made a terrible mistake by laying a hand on Chucky Finster. There will be hell to pay for this. Now, if you guys don't understand exactly what...
This guy ain't really the king of LA, but he be popping it on the internet like he is, and Flacco love making fun of this guy.
Fight I'm talking about, or how the fight led to the shooting and how the shooting led to somebody dying. Here is a quick recap on exactly what led up to this shooting at the Marathon Burger. Here's what led up to somebody getting shot and killed at Nipsey Hussle's Marathon Burger grand opening today. So everybody is there, celebrities, fans. It's a family-friendly event until this one gang member showed up. He's a little turned-up Crip from the 80s in Long Beach, because it's a Long Beach grand opening. He showed up and he starts dissing all the enemies that walk in. He starts tripping. He really started gangbanging, right? He's calling them out their names. He's throwing up derogatory. He's like gang signs. He's just wilding out. The enemies realized they outnumber him by a lot. They could easily crash him and get him out of there. But they went to Black Sam because they didn't really want to mess up the event. So they go over to Black Sam and they tell Black Sam, hey, this dude is being disrespectful. He's dissing. He's violating. Get him out of here because we don't want to crash him.
Nah, this is where I get conflicted at. In one way, I'm happy that he's breaking this news. And the other way, I feel like these are things that shouldn't be known. Like, just for the example that Black Sam is trying to maintain something that a lot of Black people don't get to do, which is being from a neighborhood, making it out of that neighborhood, and taking a little bit of money you made to invest in the neighborhood to make big money for everybody else. Because in LA, fast food workers get paid a decent rate, and fast food places make a decent rate. He's building a franchise. So I get it. And us being so quick to try to sully the franchise is a problem.
While they talking to Black Sam, the little turned up 80 Crip got 3 homies who walk in. Now they with him. So now it's 4 80 Crips in there and hella enemies. Black Sam people's going on. So then Black Sam rally up his crew
and that's a problem. If you're a part of the gang, if you're a part of a gang or a crew, like just being willing to get into bullshit can't be your only goal. You got to be willing to get your crew out of bullshit too. And if you ain't willing to do that, then you're not a good member of the crew at all, no matter what your positioning is.
Walk over to the 80s and tell the 80s, hey, listen, we gonna escort y'all to safety, but y'all gotta go. Okay. They agree. Black Sam and his crew is escorting the 80s off the premises of the Marathon Burger. The 80s is under the assumption we getting escorted to safety. We getting escorted to our cars. Black Sam is under the assumption of y'all getting off my premises. That's it. So once they walk them across the premises of the Marathon Burger, as soon as the 80s toes cross the line across the Marathon Burger, they got blitzed. All the enemies blitzed them.
But they asked for that. It wasn't just representatives of 2 gangs in there. It was representatives of all gangs, and that gang was in there tripping, whether they felt they had a reason to or not. They asked for that. That's another thing. We can't keep calling stuff a tragedy when people get exactly what they're asking for. We can't. It's a tragedy to the people that had nothing to do with it. But these guys, how could they expect any safety when you went disrespectful to an establishment that's not your own?
It's like 6-1. I'll be real, bro. It's like four 80s and probably like 30 or 40 enemies, man. So they squabbling. So one of the 80s pull out a gun and they start shooting. but they didn't stop making guns when they made y'all's, man. The enemies had guns too. They pulled out their pistol. A gunfight happening. Bystanders getting hit. Somebody who's with Black Sam got shot in the leg. 2 of the enemies got hit too.
And I just want to take this time to make a point about states like California with these bogus gun laws. You can restrict your residents from having and carrying guns, but you will never restrict the criminals from having and carrying guns. And that's the problem, because if the criminals are the only ones that have guns because they don't care about the law, how is everybody else supposed to protect themselves? Yes, son. Makes no sense. Makes no sense at all.
Person who suffered the worst was one of the 80 Crips. He got shot and killed. We now know the Hoovers were involved in that melee, in that fight that led to somebody dying and others getting shot and critically injured. If you're confused as to why the Hoovers, who's a LA set, why were they involved in Long Beach politics, that's because the Hoovers are allies to a specific set in Long Beach.
And see, that's the problem with this LA stuff. In all of these other states, a RICO would have been happened for all the gangs, not just Big U. Because these guys are doing stuff. They're part of a crew that's doing stuff against people that's doing stuff. And everybody's running to the internet talking about how they're doing stuff to each other. In any other state, it would have been massive RICOs for everybody. Massive RICOs. But it's no RICOs for them. And the Big U RICO, man, that don't even count, because this guy have been waving the checkered flag at the feds like, come get me, for the longest.
The 80s don't get along with that set. So when that set in the 80s get into it, the Hoovers is riding for that set, straight up. Now, we know Prime Minister Chucky Finster is in charge of quite possibly the greatest brigade in LA history. I mean, I'm just being real. These are some step-down troops. They is undefeated. They haven't taken an L yet. So when that set seen that Prime Minister Chucky Finster and his brigade were present, they knew a W was certain. Now, there were some casualties. There was some dust-ups. We now know specifically that Prime Minister Chucky Finster was hit. Oh, they tried to assassinate the minister.
Now this guy that went on, let's go.
At the Marathon Burger, man. We know that Chucky Finster took a headshot during the fight. That when the shots ran off, he outlaw immortal. He took a headshot, but you can't kill the minister, man. All right, you can't kill him, right? But he's the protagonist of the story. You can't take him out. You can't. That's just not how the script was written. So he took the headshot and he survived. And apparently they took him to jail because he's so dangerous, man, that when the police see him around any type of murder, any type of active activities, he got to get a 72-hour hold, man. But apparently they found out that he was not the.
And they talking about making Gavin Newsom president. He can't even control his state. Now, I'm from Michigan, specifically Detroit. We got a whole lot of stuff going on. But it's typically individual to individual, or situation to individual, or situation to circumstance, or individual to opportunity. But there's not a crew of people going around looking to kill people because they with another crew continuously. That's not it. And in LA, they got 50 crews looking to go kill another 50 crews. And within those 50 crews, they got subsects willing to kill another subset from the same crew. It's just ridiculousness. And what happens is, the Mexicans got a one-up on all of these black gangs, because the black gangs only killing each other. But whenever the Mexicans decide to, they go and kill niggas in these black areas, which is ridiculous.
One who killed the guy, so he got out. But Chucky Finster is unhappy, okay? He's unhappy that they did this, right? Foolishly enough, they did this knowing he is immortal, all right? He's the LA 50 Cent, according to the hood blogger DC Baby Draco. Now, he was very unhappy, though. He was very unhappy this happened, and he let it be known he's about to discipline and set the city on fire for this transgression and war crime against him. You don't touch the prime minister, man. He's off limits. This is a war crime, and he's ready to make everybody pay, he said.
Yeah, homies. Mm-hmm. No, you didn't fucked up, right? They know they Up, dead homies is up.
Pray for the streets of LA right now, bro.
Exactly. Play for the streets everywhere. We don't have to watch no more of this ignorance. This guy already on the internet bragging about it. And I guess he can do that because the cops out there are completely incompetent. And I don't advocate for anybody going to jail or any of that. But then at the same time, I don't necessarily advocate for this shit to continue. This is complete stupidity, and there is absolutely no money involved. None whatsoever. Most of these dudes are still living off some woman or their mama couch, bringing all that drama to the house, which is something that I never respected, no matter what state you in. And black people, take note. Why do you think they're able to get away with this and no other state is? I tell you why. Because they got a cycle of destroying black wealth faster than anybody. See, entertainers don't come to LA and sell out shows. LA entertainers don't come to LA and sell out shows. You never hear nobody's talking about selling out the Staples Center, not nobody that's black. But they talk about selling out the Garden. Every artist or playwright or tour that comes through Detroit sells out because we're that type of town where we're going to support each other no matter what. People go to LA for commerce. You do a show in LA, most of them tickets you gonna be for free, and so on and so forth. It's to showcase yourself, and that's why people go out there. So they're able to leech off of every black person that comes out there to showcase themselves or extort or maybe even kill. And that's so much black wealth that they're destroying because you got to come out there to showcase, even though you make your money in all of the other states. Like, this shit got to stop. That I haven't seen any benefit from LA gangs and how they do things ever, specifically LA. With that being said, because these were LA gangs getting into it in Long Beach, which is even crazier. Now they blaming Black Sam. It's not his fault. Anybody could have opened business. Any black person could have opened business out there and had these same problems. Stevie Wonder was just there. Black Sam tried to keep it kosher as he could, but make no mistake about it, it shows a degree of respect that he had if he was able to escort them guys to some degree of safety, and then they got what they asked for once they made it to their vehicles. That is what it is. And on that note, we out of here. Flacco, you a fool for this. Well, you a fool for all of this, but as much as you keep talking about them and as much money as you making, these niggas ain't stopping. They don't even give a fuck. We out.